format.
Oh, God damn. Well, I know your format.
Just shut up, let's do this video.
Get loose.
G'day, Stu from UAVfutures here, and today, well, a pretty special episode. We are having too much fun. I'm with Wingman Jono in the studio. What we're going to be talking about is the EMAX Interceptor. We're going to put it on the bench, break it down, look at the text and specs, give you an overview, and then the main part, we are just going to go out to the house, and it is amazing how much fun you can have ripping around with a bunch of these and your mates. And I've got to say, I didn't think I was really a RC car guy, and this morning has completely changed my mind when I'm doing these FPV to what it's actually like. We've been having an absolute blast. So I guess as a bit of an overview, Jono, now you've only played around with it a little bit. Just tell us what this is and kind of what's the idea behind the EMAX car?
Yeah, so it's just basically like small scale indoor FPV racing car. You know, easy to use, easy to race with your friends and stuff like that.
It comes with a radio as well. Look, I can even get my assistant to go get me a radio, which is I'm sure one will come in off screen right here. So yeah, it comes with a little radio, and it is crazy. Like for the price, for 60 bucks, you get a little radio which is coming, this car, a battery, and you're just ready to go off to the races. It could not be simpler, and it's kind of made for people who might already have some FPV stuff. There is a version that comes with some goggles as well. I think that's around 100 bucks if you get the goggles included.
Full starter kit.
But we've been just using it with our standard FPV goggles, ripping around, having a blast. It's got forward, reverse, just left and right, and yeah, here we go. Look at this. We've got all the stops here.
Nice.
So yeah, here's our remote as well. You can see it's really simple. You've got a steering trim, left and right. Turn it on, it takes some AA batteries. You put your Tiny Hawk LiPo in there, and then just that is it. You go off
Easy
and you
peasy.
have fun.
Yeah.
Right, so what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna do with the magic of editing, we're just gonna jump in, we're gonna have some races, and then we're gonna have a bit of a laugh, and you will see just how much fun these things can be. And then we're gonna come back and we'll get our final thoughts, we'll wrap it up, the things we like, the things we'd change, and just, yeah, overall, what we think about these kits. So let's go have a race with the boys, and then cut back and finish this review in 3, 2, 1. Radio, here we go, on board, about to have some fun. You guys are in for a treat, and the part that I want to say to myself and my FPV experience, I was in for a treat. From the moment I have taken these out of the box, there has not been a single day that hasn't gone by where I've just put these on, driven around, and had some of the most fun, believe it or not, I've ever had in FPV. It is ridiculous how fun this little $60 toy has been for me, just driving things around with your mates. You can see the races here, it was getting really, really tense, and it just does so much. We're going to talk about how the car handles, we're going to talk about the limitations, things we like, what it was like actually controlling it, but also what does this mean for our hobby, the people who can use it, and just, this is, I don't know, this is for me where technology is becoming accessible, and this is going to get so many people into the hobby. So, first things first, we're looking at the blue car here. That one's only available, I think it's with an eSheet partnership, but there's also the red version, which you'll see in a minute, but specs-wise, inside the car, it's all exactly the same. There's a kit that comes with the headset. Here you can see we're on the red one, and now driving along with the car, we were just bashing into each other with Tom and Jono, and it was just, I don't know, it was absolutely so much fun. Now the car handle is very, very fun. What I love is the plastic on the wheels. It's almost like it's a mix. You don't quite have, so like driving in a car simulator without traction control on. It's very, very fun where you can go full throttle, and if you're in a straight line, you can really gun it. But if you sort of give it some and your floor's a little bit dusty, you can actually slide out. And I really like that because it really does add you've got to think about your race lines, how you take your corners, how much throttle you're going to give it. It is so much more than just holding full throttle, turning left and right. You kind of do have to have a little bit of racecraft. And believe it or not, we were getting really, really competitive. Like you can see, I'm running here because we're saying, and it's not often you're going to see me running, but I was running back because I was like first to 5 laps or 6 laps. The drive time is something totally, I just couldn't believe. We are getting, when I'm looking back at these DVR drives and checking my footage, I have over like 10 hours of footage to go through from this thing because I've just been driving it around so much. We're going to be driving around outside and all that sort of stuff too. But the drive times, you are getting about 10 minutes, which is insane. That's on the Tiny Hawk upgraded battery, and you're getting about 5 minutes on the normal one. But yeah, 10 minutes is just ridiculous when we're used to some of our drones going for 60 seconds, 90 seconds, I guess sometimes. It was so fun, it was controllable, and it was easy for anybody to get in and practice. But also, you know, it was hard to master, I guess I'm trying to say. So, you know, you really could work on these and have some really fun races. I'm going to say, if you are remotely interested in this, if you already got an FPV setup for the 60 bucks, it is crazy value. Here, is another example. I've been taking it off little jumps and going outside and flying around. It was quite fun on short carpet. It does slow down a little bit on long carpet. I noticed sometimes some hair would get caught up in it, but those problems are few and far between. The poor dog has just been chasing this thing all around, absolutely loving it. It's just, I don't know, you kind of do need the house as well, because you need to think about the spacing and the tiles, all that sort of stuff, but it is a lot of fun. What can I say? Anybody can drive these. If you want to get somebody into FPV, this is going to be great. It is going to do so much for our hobby. Like here, I've got my 7-year-old in-law giving it a go for the first time, and this is what our hobby needs. FPV, we need to just show people how amazing this is. You might not be able to fly a drone, but something like this gives you that taste test to jump into FPV. So I got to say, hats off to EMAX. You've done a great job, not only for the people who already do FPV, enjoy flying around, but for people coming into the hobby and just giving people that without the skills to constantly fly a drone, giving them a bit of a taste of what it's like, and who knows, maybe they will become future pilots. But anyway, let's jump back to the studio. I'll wrap this review up and just see Jono's ramblings. Rightio, so definitely a lot of fun. Jono, what's your thoughts on the EMAX Interceptor? For me, I just want to say EMAX seems to be smashing it out in accessible FPV. So they made the Tiny Hawk so people just get in and start flying around and start having fun. Yeah. And for someone who's not really into RC cars, this bad boy is exactly what's gotten me into driving these things around. So how did you find it? What did you like about it? All that sort of stuff. What was your impressions of the Interceptor?
First impressions when I saw it, I thought it was going to be like a much bigger setup. It's actually quite a tiny setup, and I was like, oh man, it's so small, but like, even though it's really, really small, these things actually, like, they really belt around the house, don't they? They're hooking it. Like, Tom was doing doughies with one before, so you can get a bit of wheel spin going with it. We're drifting around corners a little bit. Something
I really like too, I should say, is I really like whatever the rubbery, half rubber, half plastic kind of feel of the wheels. So it didn't have insane traction all the time, but you kind of had to feather the throttle. So if you really wanted to spin the back out, you could just pump the throttle. It would kick the back out. You could do a bit of a drift, but at the same time, you could feather it and stay on that really tight line if you were trying to get a bit of grip as well.
Yeah, we were saying before, it's like playing the old like Gran Turismo games on the PlayStation. It's like, you know, so if you get a bit of dust on the tires, it starts getting really touchy, and you can start doing like real big like spin outs and doughies.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
Right. What do you think about the $60 mark, getting into the hobby of RC racing, or just trying this out for FPV? What do you think for the price?
Hey, like, like that's
for radio and car, $60.
I reckon that's great. Like, you pretty much, if you've already got FPV goggles, boom, you get that. You're all set for like if you're having a lousy winter, which we have had. God, it's been terrible. But this you can just set inside, and you're getting the same sort of thrill out of it. It's like fast pace and cooking around the house, having fun. We were laughing our asses off the whole time we were doing it.
I like how it charges USB as well. I think that's fantastic. We did put in bigger batteries in here, so we just threw in our Tiny Hawk batteries, because the one it comes with is like it's a little bit smaller than the one we were using. But probably the part that I really like is it was so easy. So a lot of the times when you want to get together with your friends and do drone racing, or if you want to play around and your kids might be getting into the hobby, it's quite a difficult jump to be able to have not only just fly, but to be able to have like a race and a competitive kind of feeling. Anyone could do it. You know,
much faster jump in.
Yeah, a 4-year-old, you can gun the throttle. There's only really 2 channels, which is your throttle, which will be, you know, forward and reverse, and then you're steering left and right. So it's just super easy to get in, have a race, and it keeps the action really close as well. That's something I like. Whereas drone racing, one person can be in front, one person can be crashing, and then that's it for another couple of minutes.
That's it. Much easier to recover as well. Obviously, if somebody crashes, they just reverse out of there. Whereas, like, you know, drone racing, if you crash, they're out until everyone else can stop, and you can go fetch for.
And you can break props, all that sort of stuff.
And then you got to fix up, robust. Or like, and if you happen to, like, you know, not have multiple drones for the day, that might be you done for the day. Whereas, like, this thing, we were belting it into walls and stuff like that, and obviously they're all fine, no breakages there.
Okay, things you like, and then things you would change. I'll go first. No, I'll let you go first.
Okay, things I like, the speed of them, even though they're tiny, that was actually really quick. Like cruising down your hallway, it was quicker than I could handle that like full stick. I also like that, like, you know, pretty crash resistant. We'll slam it into walls and stuff like that, slamming into each other. We haven't broken anything yet, which is really cool. Other things I like is...
I've kind of put you on the spot a little bit.
No. Other things, I did like that we could put the Tiny Hawk batteries in there. That was really awesome. You know, 450 size. We're getting really good amount of runtime. What we're getting, like 5 minutes or more?
I think it's even more, like 5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah, we're getting like, a fair bit of runtime, which is heaps. That's heaps of laps around a house, that is. Things that I don't like...
or would change.
All would change. Yeah, we got to go. The first thing that we all noticed was the battery slot is it's like your normal old RC car where you got to
put a screw.
You got to unscrew it, change
agree.
The battery.
Just make a little clip there, right?
Yeah,
like you should
yeah.
be able to clip in and out.
Yeah, clip or even have it hollowed out and maybe like a slot kind of like the Tiny Hawks and stuff have where you can just like slot it in or something. Make it quicker to change the battery so you're not.
We are
fussing.
nitpicking here. It is about 20 seconds, but yeah, I agree. It could be a simple change.
Yeah. You know, I just want to get another battery and get going again because that's fun. Like,
anything else?
Oh man, what else? Oh man, like there's not much else that I really like didn't really like about it. It was the camera's clear, everything like it goes quick. All
right, I'll jump in here and then finish these things off. So things I liked, I love the battery options. I love how accessible it was to get in to do FPV for anybody to try it. You know, it doesn't matter about your age range. It keeps a closer racing field, so you're all racing together. I like the speed of it. I love the grip of the tires. So you still do need a bit. It's not just as easy as that. There's like it's easy to learn, difficult to master. I love the price. $60 is absolutely ridiculous. Nice clear footage, everything like that. I think they've absolutely smashed it. There's a few little things I would change though, like you mentioned, the clip on the bottom for the battery. So that I find that'd be better than the screwdriver. I do wish that on the top here, so you can take the canopies off. But I wish, you know, because it can charge by USB. I'm probably just going to melt a little hole in here so I don't have to take the canopy off. Because I like how it looks, but I'd love if I could just put that in, you know, and clip it in straight away to charge it. Don't have to take this off. If it came with some stickers, that would be amazing, like a range of just green, blue, red, orange, yellow, whatever the stickers are, where you could just put your own decals on here. I think that'd be better than all coming in the red, or I think the only place with blue is like the eSheen one, which I'll link down below. And then
first thing I saw when you clip the canopy off is like I want a custom canopy, like proper RC cars. I want to get my own custom one going on. That would be really rad.
And then the only other part too is if we could have the option. I know this would make it more expensive because you can't really complain for the price. It is stupid cheap. But if you're left-handed, it's going to be a bit more tricky. So you're left-handed, right?
I am, yeah.
And how did you find the steering? Because I've seen some people, I've given this actually to some other people to test, and they're left-handed, and they held it like this, facing themselves.
Yeah.
So how were you doing it? I didn't even look at how you were. How was it left-handed?
I was using it how you're supposed to use it, like so. I was.
Okay. Did you find it weird?
No. It's like I'm a stupid left-hander. I'm not fully left-handed. I'm actually right-handed dominant.
Okay, well, Jono's just bizarre, but if you're left-handed, it might be a bit weird for some people who want to steer with this hand without turning it backwards. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. Might roll some more footage at the back. Huge shout out to the crew who turned up today. We're about to go out and rip some packs though in the field.
Yep.
Subscribe for more FPV-related content. Jono, what's your Instagram?
Hi, I'm Jono.
So that'll be
with underscores in between the words.
Yeah. Go check his channel out for a lot of shenanigans. And as always, happy flying.
Nice.